You'd be crazy to purchase Class A office buildings downtown San Francisco, right? Well, not according to real estate tycoon Ian Jacobs, because he's making a big bet on downtown San Francisco. My name is Steve Peterson. I'm the broker owner of Infinity Investments, and welcome to our channel. We talk all things commercial and investment real estate. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down a recent article about the moves Ian Jacobs is making. He's a 47-year-old real estate tycoon who has a really ambitious project. He calls it Project Eurus. And what he essentially is doing, and he has lined up a bunch of capital to do this, is to purchase the most struggling asset of all assets in commercial real estate, office buildings, in the most hard-hit area of the country, San Francisco. So, 3 things I want to talk about. I would love to get your feedback. Is he crazy? Is he a genius? And let's break down some of this, right? So the first thing is, look, Jacobs, who is 47, by the way, an inspiration to me, being a younger person in the commercial real estate business, he is a Warren Buffett protege. He's studied under Warren. He's actually worked for his firm directly. So this guy kind of knows his stuff, you know what I mean? But he comes from his history. He is, I think, 3rd generation into the commercial real estate business. So not only does he understand investing, the stock market, but he really understands commercial real estate. So this guy just is not a young guy starting out. He's been around the block, right? And what he has done is he has lined up commitments of several $100 million to the tune of $900 million, commitments from different family offices and different institutional investors. But he's lined up this capital to acquire properties in downtown San Francisco that are probably either all the way vacant or more than 50% vacant. So this is interesting, and it's really a contrarian move, a move against the modern norm, because right now the hardest hit part of the industry is office. San Francisco is struggling. Office vacancy rates they're over 30-40% right now in an area that historically doesn't have hardly any vacancy. But right now, like, what is he doing? Is he crazy? Well, I actually don't think he's crazy. I actually think he's a genius. I would love to get your thoughts in the comments, some feedback. What do you think? But I actually think what he's doing makes a lot of sense. Because if you're going to buy somewhere like San Francisco, wouldn't it make sense to buy the dip? Wouldn't it make sense to get in when nobody else wants to get in? Therefore, you can get in at amazing prices, right? So I think he's onto something. So that's kind of the first point about what he's doing. Now, the key other thing to remember here is he's lined up his capital. Now, I don't know all the details about it. You can read the article. It's in the description below. I don't know exactly, but what I can say according to the article is he's lined up $900 million of commitments. That's a lot of dough, right? And that would give him a significant amount of leverage as he begins to negotiate with these buildings. Probably be negotiating with lenders who have the paper, because the best way to get a great discount on a distressed property is go to the lender, buy their paper at a discount, and take over their position. So he's probably doing a little bit of that, probably also negotiating directly with property owners. So that's happening. Now, the second point I want to really dive into is this idea of contrarian investing. Basically, buying properties or making investments when there's blood on the street, so to speak. When everyone else is running away from something, when you're a contrarian, when you're running right into it. Excited, right? Focused. That's what he's doing. That's what I think we ought to be considering how to do. And I say that because I started my company in 2009. And you had to be a contrarian in order to get anything done, because according to the rest of the world, the sky was falling. We had just went through the most, catastrophic and the most traumatic financial distress situation since the Great Depression. So I remember being in the Bay Area in those times. Crime, by the way, was also horrible at that time. The economy locally was also horrible at that time. Prices had crashed. And people were saying it's going to take 15, 20 years for this market to come back. I remember saying that because I remember pitching deals to people at rock bottom prices, and they were telling me the market would never come back in the Bay Area. 2 or 3 years later, we was back to almost where we was before in terms of pricing. And then we've had this 10-year, 15-year run up since 2009 that's been really amazing. We've hit some real challenges in 2022, 2023 with interest rates coming up and the work from home, right, model. And in San Francisco, I'll give you an example. A lot of restrictions put down in the pandemic, right? So a lot of people are like, hey, look, I'm not going to pay this outrageous rent or this outrageous mortgage to be in San Francisco if I can't be in San Francisco. In other words, if I can't go to the restaurants, if I can't go to the nightlife, if I can't go to the cafes, if I can't enjoy the beauty, why am I here? So a lot of people left. At the same time, we went work from home. And San Francisco is really, now, by the way, tech industry is not the only industry in San Francisco. Silicon Valley is right down the street. And so they really ran by the tech, but so is San Francisco. But San Francisco has other industries also that were challenged by the pandemic, such as tourism, such as financial, such as banking, you know what I mean? All these things were really, really challenged, right? All at the same time. So it's created this tremendous amount of vacancy, but it's also created this tremendous amount of uncertainty about, will people come back? Will they come back? Also, the crime has exploded. The policy has really been not really beneficial for a lot of businesses. So businesses, and then if the policy is not for you, there's all these restrictions and people are busting out windows, breaking in your business. A lot of people have been leaving, right? Which is why I think it's the perfect time to invest in this area. And I think this guy, Ian Jacobs, is onto something. I think contrarian investing will always win if done right, all right? And the third thing to think about is, what is he going to do to fill this space? I think what he's going to do is if he's going to buy a deal, it's going to be a great deal, right? But if it stays 100% vacant, he ain't going to make no money, right? So this is where I would love to get your feedback on what can he do to fill the spaces. He and other maybe entrepreneurs like you on a smaller scale, what can he do to get these vacant spaces full? Here's just a couple of my ideas. Take it with a grain of salt. First of all, I see, and I'm a member of the NorCal CCIM. There was a presentation several months ago about office buildings being converted to life science buildings. Life science operations typically work out of like business parks, maybe suburban business parks. But a lot of these life science companies, they want to be really close to hospitals. They want to be really close to universities so that their labs can collaborate in real time. That is a big thing that's important to them. Well, San Francisco, a couple of universities, several top-tier hospitals. I think that can be one angle. Another basic way is to take these big, office spaces and chop them down into little office spaces. Because one thing I think is eventually we are going to be back in the office. Look, entrepreneurs are finding out, even tech people, that look, people just not as productive when they're at home watching Netflix trying to do work for you. They just not, you know what I mean? Now, it's efficient, can be, but in terms of like, okay, somebody don't have to drive into work and do all that. But we just know as entrepreneurs and people running businesses, people are not as productive at home, sipping wine, watching Netflix, doing work. It's just not. So I think that companies will come back, but they're going to come back and say they had a 20,000 square foot spot. I think maybe they're going to figure out how to operate with 5,000, with 7,500. So a smaller footprint of the units of the space is another idea to get these buildings leased out. Now, another thing I would do, and I'm sure he's a lot smarter than me, but to give amazing rental rates, outstanding landlord concessions, and to really spice up the design to make these buildings really attractive places to come in and to work. Collaborative, fun, energetic, close to everything, a bunch of services. If he buys them at the right price, he can get this thing done. Let me know what you're thinking. Give me some feedback. Do you think I'm crazy for doing this? I'm trying to look. I'm also biased. I'm from the Bay now. I'm from Oakland. It's different than San Francisco. We in the same zone. I would love to see San Francisco make a comeback. I think it is going to make a comeback. In terms of when, I don't know when, but I think it also requires entrepreneurs like Mr. Jacobs to take a risk, swing the bat, and go make some things happen. And if we smaller investors can kind of recognize the trends, well, maybe we can make some money, maybe we can make a difference, and we can bring value to great cities like this. We can't let the situations, the circumstances, the crime, the policy, we can't let that as entrepreneurs dictate to us how things are going to go in particular cities and areas. We got to bring our vision, our perspectives, our execution, and problem-solving ability to these type of situations to bring value to a great city like San Francisco and maybe a great city in your hometown. Give me your thoughts, give me your feedback. Let's keep being creative, solving problems, making money. Until the next video, deuces.